I say we begin. So what I have in mind today is to talk about old stories that live within us. So old stories are simply energetic impressions within our blueprint. They can be inherited from our genetic ancestors or absorbed through the journey of emotional experiences throughout our life. Old stories tell the tale of our accepted past. Did you catch my emphasis on the word accepted? That's because once you have an awareness of your old stories, you are able to make a choice to continue to accept or reject them. Now, keep in mind that your previous acceptance of your old stories is not your fault. Because without awareness, we cannot create change. So the first step is to allow yourself to accept a new awareness of your old stories that have kept you living in the past and feeling stuck. So I ask you, do you have an old story? And so think about it as we go through these different examples, right? Here's 4 examples that you might have an old story with. The first one is money. It can be a story that money is hard to keep. Money is hard to bring in. I never have enough money. And if this is your story, I promise you've got plenty of examples within those stories to prove your case to be true. The second example, I just simply embarrass myself every time I open my mouth in a group setting. I always say the wrong thing. I always embarrass myself. Okay. Or within this same framework, you might have a belief that you'll never be good at public speaking. And again, I'm sure you have stories that validate this truth, what you believe to be true. Number 3, I only attract people who take advantage of me. Now, this belief can pertain to our personal life, our relationships, our friendships, our career. Okay, and you have multiple stories to prove that the people you draw in betray you. Okay, all right. Number 4, I cannot charge people for my God-given gifts. And again, you have an example of why you truly believe this for yourself. Are you aware of an old story in your life? Just think about it for a second. Are you aware of an old story in your life? Put it in the chat, and I'll come back in and I'll address it. What makes your old stories so powerful in keeping you stuck is because they hide behind the curtain of your subconscious. They keep planting more weeds in your mindset that strangle the harvest of your abundance. And that can leave you feeling trapped in this story, this cycle, right, of never-ending patterns that repeat themselves. It can be quite a challenge for us to recognize old stories and limiting beliefs. This is why it is so important to recognize how they show up in your life. They show up when you are moving forward. They show up when you get triggered at a certain, like when something happens in your life, maybe it's an event. It's like your old stories are the firewood and your current situation, emotions, are the match. In regards, the match that fuels the fire. So in regards, for example, to money stories, they get triggered when you want to invest in yourself not when you want to buy something for someone else, whether that be for a family member, a friend, your kids. There's always that is not a trigger. You'll find a way to do that. It really hits home though if you want to invest in your own self, like your own transformation. And this is due to the hidden part of the story that causes you to feel guilty, causes you to fear what will happen. You might even, some people might even begin to feel selfish, right? When they want to invest in themselves. Or there could be other old stories that come up around it. Regarding, I just get embarrassed, I embarrass myself when I speak up in a group. That can happen when you are out to dinner with a group of friends and you speak up and everyone just literally looks at you like you're at the end of the table, everyone turns and stops, and you know what did you just say, right? Either they comment, what did you just say, or you think, wait a minute, what did I just say, that they're giving me this blank stare. Or what if you tell a joke and no one laughs at your joke? Or what if you make a comment, an opinion that you have, and someone disagrees with you? See, those are uncomfortable, embarrassing situations that start to create this story that you're just better off keeping your opinion to yourself. You're better off just following the crowd. You're better off not speaking up. Well, there's no truth in that. These are old stories that aren't serving you anymore. Okay, now that we have a clear understanding of how old stories show up in our life, how can we release them? How can you let go of that old story? How can you create new stories that fuel and inspire you to embrace your highest calling and purpose? This is what I call transformational storytelling. It is made up of 2 steps: erase and create. And I've combined both of these steps into a deep dive visualization for you that I'll guide you through right now. So, if you have a pen and paper handy, go ahead and grab it. If not, come back and do it later. But listen with me as I guide you through this visualization. I'm going to cover my camera. I want you to get in a comfortable spot. All right, preferably with your feet on the ground and your eyes closed. So let's begin. Okay. Now let's begin. All right. With your eyes closed, take a breath into your lungs, filling your lungs to capacity, and hold. And on the exhale, let go of everything you've been storing in your body today. Just let it go. Now, take another breath, but take it into your belly, extending the belly with the breath. Sense, feel, and imagine that there is a cord attached to the back of your belly button to the spine. Now, as you exhale, imagine that that cord is being pulled. The belly button cord is being pulled all the way back to your vertebrae, activating your central nervous system. There we go. One last breath. Filling your lungs back up to capacity. You sense, feel, and imagine that you are extending the breath up through the head, all the way up into the head, activating the right and left hemisphere of the brain, activating healing on all levels and dimensions, activating neural pathways. There we go. And on the exhale, bring your breath back to a comfortable in and out breath. Now, I'm going to count from 3, 2, 1. 3. Those sounds around you allow you to focus. 2. You're becoming deeper relaxed in all ways. And one, you are sitting in a gorgeous library within the center of your heart space. You see this heart space as a room. Notice the floor is heart-shaped. The walls bow out and connect to the ceiling in the same heart shape. As you look around the library of your heart, you see mountains of knowledge surrounding you on all sides. You smell the scent of the old shelves and the distinct old book scent that lets you know wisdom resides here. You sit down in a lush reading chair that's been molded to perfection for your body. Sitting back in your soothing chair, you notice a dusty old book in your lap. You pick it up and blow the dust off. As you open it up, you have an awareness that you already know what this book is about. As you begin to turn the pages of your book, you feel a combination of ease and calm inside a sense of discomfort. The old stories within this book contain familiarity to them, and they all seem to focus on the same theme: scarcity, self-doubt, and lack of personal power. In fact, as you flip through more of the pages, you notice that there are 3 or 4 stories that repeat like a broken record. As you take a pause from reading, you naturally lean back in your chair, and as you do so, you begin to feel tension release out of your body. I understand. Some of those old pages trigger feelings of regret and guilt. So it's time now that your body senses as you feel and imagine the release of the old stories. The old story of if I coulda, shoulda, woulda. Take a deep breath and let it out in a powerful exhale. Let go of the residue. Let it go. As you do, feel yourself sink deeper into your chair. Feel it as it wraps itself around you like a loving mentor or a spirit guide. Feel only love and expansion within your body. As you now look back down at your book, the pages that represent the old stories, take your hand and slightly wipe it across the text. Feel the paper underneath your hand slightly warm to your touch as you wipe back and forth across the page. You see this old story vanish from the paper, vanishing in front of your eyes. Do this now for every page. With each page, feel the weight being dropped from your brain. Feel the weight being dropped from your belief system. Feel it release from your shoulders as you are feeling lighter and lighter within your body and lighter in your chair. As you continue to look at your book, you see that all your old stories are gone, vanished, wiped away as if they never existed. You are now breathing in a renewed life force and a renewed sense of self. You naturally find your pen. Feel it in your hand, as this is your pen of life's expansion. It speaks your truth. It feels so perfect in your grasp. As you hold it, you feel new life pass through your body from head to toe, activating so much fearless joy. It feels like magic. It feels like healing. It feels transformational because it is. As your pen of life begins to write the words flow with ease, every statement surging with confidence and unshakable certainty. Your very soul is guiding your pen. Your soul is writing the story of your life as it was always meant to be. Confident and strong, tenacious, only words that represent your truth, words leading you to infinite opulence in all areas of your life, calling forth the story of your transformed life from this point moving forward. As you feel this, you become aware that you are feeling complete. As you have replaced the worn out pages with your birthright stories of truth, they are bright and new. They speak of a path to your limitless expansion as your life creator. Smile now. Smile with joy. Smile with confidence. Smile feeling peace. Closing the book, you smile again from an inner sense of well-being and increased confidence. You rise from your chair and you walk out of the library of your heart into a new world of your own design. Now, it's time to come back to the space you were originally in. Bringing your awareness back to your breath, I will count from 1 to 3. And you will open your eyes wide open and present. 1, bringing your awareness back to your body. 2, activating all the cells in your body with your new truth. 3, eyes wide open as you are now fulfilling the true stories, creating them, your truth, your awareness from this point moving forward. And so it is. Come back to me, come back to me. All right. Tell me how you're doing. Come back down here. This is a good one to listen to again. And what this type of visualization does is it helps repattern the brain to accept more positive into your life. If you are new to visualization, That's great. If visualization is hard for you, no worries. As long as you listen to me, think of the picture as I say it, the brain gets on board. There's no magic sauce to it. All right. What's important is that it begins to train your brain to accept more positive to move you forward. All right. Let me see what we have going on. Kelly, you have an old story that something is wrong with you. Yeah, and I'm sure you have stories to prove that, right? Where you really believe that. Mm-hmm. I understand. Um, and I also know that it's an old story that's not true, that's really at your soul level is not true for you. Mm-hmm. All right. Hi, Julie. Um, Julie, how do you stop it? You dead in its tracks? Well, there's probably several different ways. But the first one is to take action because usually the old story will stop us. It will absolutely, it's a sabotage. So the story comes up because it's thinking it's helping you so you don't get hurt again or right. And so the very best thing is to move through it. Mm-hmm. To remind yourself that you're different and you'll take action, right? That you're different and you're going to move through it, especially if you're, well, I guess, you can tell me what it is you're thinking about. What don't you do when this old story comes up? How does this old story stop you? And maybe I can give you some guidance. But as an overall statement, you take action anyway. That's what you do. If you're like, for example, if the old story is let me just create one hypothetically is um, I don't like going out to social events. I get nervous going out to social events. Do it anyway, right? But problem solve through that. Maybe you give yourself a time frame that you're going to be there 30 minutes and you have to talk to one person. Like you're going to move through that. The other way is my healing audios really are beneficial for clearing those vibrational frequencies. That's a whole nother topic, but they're absolutely amazing at bringing healing to the body. Especially when there are things that became trapped due to an experience where it takes an old story and puts it on steroids, right? That's another option too. And I have some free content on my website. Hi, PK, you are very welcome. So come back, listen to this, dear ones, and know that old stories, while they contain a bit of truth, are not your soul's truth. They are not how you're supposed to live and show up, especially when they are holding you back, keeping you from moving forward, when they are blocking your lasting transformation, where they keep you stuck in an old job or an old situation. That's not working for you anymore. So it's really about bringing an awareness to yourself and giving yourself permission to move forward, giving yourself permission so you can say, I accept myself in this uncomfortability and I'm moving forward. There's no wrong to feeling uncomfortable unless it's holding us back. And then as years go on, we're repeating cycles and we feel crappy, right? Well, that's not good. That's not benefiting us. So it's really about taking action, accepting yourself for the past and choosing differently. All right. Thank you for being here with me. Let me know if you're watching live or on the replay.